Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to start with a new series where we will be covering the LeetCode premium questions. And so this is the first problem of this series and it is a hard category problem. So in this problem we have been given this table where we have the employee details. We have the employee ID, employee name, manager ID and salary. And we need to find these four columns where we have the subordinate ID. So this ID is basically the employee ID, and the subordinate name, this is nothing but the employee name. And then we have the hierarchy label. So hierarchy label is nothing but the hierarchy from the boss, that is the CEO of the company, to that particular employee. This I will show you with the help of the tree diagram. And we have the salary difference. So the salary difference is nothing but the difference in the salary between the employee and the CEO, right? So let's see the problem statement. So this website, you can see, like, this is created by one of my friend. So I will provide the link in the description section where you can find this, and you can solve all the LeetCode premium question from here, right? So the problem statement is this: write a solution to find the subordinate of the CEO, both direct and indirect, along with their level in the hierarchy and the salary difference from the CEO. So basically the subordinate, as I mentioned, it is nothing but the employee ID. Subordinate name, this is the name of the subordinate, that is the employee name. And the hierarchy level, so the level of the subordinate in the hierarchy. One is for the direct reports, two for their direct reports, and so on. So this hierarchy level is the crux of this problem. This I will explain in very detail, right? And the salary difference, this is quite simple. So this is nothing but the difference in the salaries between the CEO and the subordinate, right? And the final output we need to return in this way. We need to sort the data in the hierarchy level ascending order, and the subordinate also in the ascending order. And this is the input and this is the output, right? So I will provide the create statement in the description section. You can try it by yourself. So I will be moving with the solution and the approach, right? So here if you see in the output table, we do not have the employee ID with 1. So this is nothing but the CEO of the company. So this is CEO of the company, and we need to find for all the employee what is the hierarchy level from the CEO, right? So let me show you the tree diagram, right? So here if you see this Alice, the employee ID 1 is the boss because the manager ID is null, right? So what we can have is, we can have 1, this is the boss. Then 2 reports to 1, right? Because if you see here, employee and the manager, so 2 reports to 1. So what we can write is, we can write hierarchy as 2 over here. Then 3 also reports to 1, so we will have the same level. Then we have 4 and 5 both reports to 2, right? So we can have here 4 and 5 both reports to 2. Then we have 6 and 7, they both report to 3, so we can have at the same level 6 and 7, they both report to 3. And we have 8 who reports to 5. 5 is nothing but Eve. So let me write this. So we have 8 over here, right? So in order to okay, so the most important thing is this hierarchy level, right, in the output. Here these two columns we know we can directly get from here, like these two columns. We just need to exclude the boss from here. And the most important column is this hierarchy label. This also is simple. So we just need to take the difference between the employees and the boss salaries. So here we have 1,20,000, here we have 1,50,000, so difference is 30,000. Similarly for each and every employee, let's say for Helen, we have 60,000. Why? Because we have the salary for Helen 90,000 over here, and the salary for the boss is 1,50,000, so difference is 60,000. So this is quite simple. The most important column is this only, right? So now let's understand how we can find the hierarchy level. hierarchy level. How we can find? So if you see here, to find the hierarchy of 1, we can see one age, right? We can see only one age. So the hierarchy of this employee 2 is 1, right? Similarly, let's first write the ages, then we will map those ages with the hierarchy level, right? So for 4, there is how many age from that particular employee to the boss? 1 and then 2. So we have 2 ages. Similarly, for 5, we have 2 ages. This 1 and this is 2. For 8, we have 3 ages. 1, 2, 3. For 3, we have 1 ages. And then for 6, we have 2 ages. This is 1 and this is 2. For 7, also we have 2 ages. Now, let's try to map. So for 8, we are saying that we should have 3 ages. So 3 should be the hierarchy level. So here also, if you see, we have 3 as hierarchy level. Same way for 7, we are writing that the hierarchy should be 2. So for 7, we have hierarchy as 2, right? So this is what the solution basically look like. So what we need to do is we need to use the CTE or recursive CTE. Why recursive CTE? So like in order to solve the tree problem in DSA, what we use is we use recursion, right? So what exactly recursion is? In order to solve the big problem, what we do, we solve the sub problem of it, and like this is the big problem, right? And we solve this sub problem 1, sub problem 2, and then we combine the result to say that this is the solution for the entire big problem. In the same way, in order to get the hierarchy level of 8, what we can do is we can find the hierarchy level of 2. So hierarchy level 2 is 1, and then we can do 2 plus 1, that would be the 3 as a hierarchy level of 8. Same way, in order to find the hierarchy level of 3, what it would be? So hierarchy level of 1 is what? 0. 0 plus 1, we can have it 0 plus 1 is 1. So hierarchy level of 3 is 1. So this is how we will try to solve this problem. So let's jump to the dviewer and try to see how we can solve this problem. Okay, now here we are in the dviewer console. So here if you see, this is the create statement. This I will provide in the description section, and this is what the employees table look like. Okay, so before solving the bigger problem, that is the problem which we have, is to find the levels, right? So what I'm saying is, let's try to solve this sub problem. That is, here we need to get the manager name of each employee, right? So for this employee Alice, the manager ID is null. So for this we don't have any manager basically, right? For employee 2, the employee name is Bob, his manager is 1, right? So manager ID is 1. So 1 is what? 1 is Alice. So we should have another column where we should have Bob and here Alice, right? Same way for each and every employee. So let's say for Helen, here we have manager ID as 5. So 5 is what? Eve. So here we should have in the new column, we should have over here is Eve, right? So this is the solution basically, right? So let me run this, then we will go through the solution, like how exactly this is working. So here in this problem, we have only one table, right? That is employee table. What we can do is we can use the same problem, same table again, that is we can do the self join. So what we are doing is, here we are saying from table employee, and then we are doing the left join, that is we need all the record from this table. And what we are saying is, we are saying take the manager ID from the table 1. So this we can say as table 1, and this is table 2, right? So we are saying map the manager ID of table 1 with employee ID of table 2. So this manager is nothing but what? This manager is one or the other employee of the table, right? So we are saying map the manager ID of the table 1 with the employee ID of the table 2. So let's try to do the dry run, right? So like dry run we can do in SQL also. It's not like we do only in the DSA. So let's do the dry run. So here if you see, for the first how it will look like is, for the first time it will join the manager ID, so null will be joined with the employee ID. So there is no record where we have the null, so we will have the null over here because there is no join which is performed. Now for the manager ID 1, here we will have 1 and it will map with the employee ID of the table 2. So here it will scan and it will find Alice, so that will populate over here is Alice. Same way for employee ID 1, again it will scan the entire table and it will find Alice, so it will map Alice. Similarly, let's take any other example. So for Frank, here we have the manager ID 3, so it will scan the entire employee table and it will find manager employee ID 3, and here we have the Charlie, so it will map it with Charlie, right? So this condition is what, like, why I showed you this problem is because this is what we will be using in the recursive CTE, right, over here. So let's start with the recursive CTE, but before that, if someone don't know what is the syntax of the recursive CTE, so this is how it look like. So we write, so this I'm solving in the PostgreSQL. So in different databases, the syntax looks a little different. Basically this part, rest of the part remain the same. So here in PostgreSQL, we write the recursive keyword as well, right? Here we have the anchor or the base query. So this base query, and then we have the union all, and we have the recursive query, right? So let's see what is the significance of each of this. So this base query or the anchor query, this executed only once, that is at the first iteration. So when we start the execution of the recursive CTE, at that time only this get executed, and after that, like till we reach the breaking point, this recursive query gets executed, right? And all these data, like in each of the run, they get concatenated, right? So for the union, we know that we should have the same number of column, that is in the base query and the recursive query we should have the same number of columns, right? And then we can write select star from the CTE. So this is what the syntax of recursive CTE look like. And the union thing which I was mentioning, we should have the same number of column. So if you see here, we have 1 2 3 4 5 columns. Same way we have over here 5 columns, right? Okay, so now let's start with the solution. Here what I'm saying is we should have the base query. Base query is we are filtering out the employee with the employee with the ID 1, that is the boss, right? We are filtering out this. Why only this itself? Because in each of the recursive iteration, what we will try to do is we will try to reach at the boss, right? So this should be the base condition, right? And let's start with this. So I hope you understood this part, right? So if I run this, if you see, we are only getting this thing. So we have employee ID, employee name, manager, that is null. Then we have the salary and the hierarchy level. As I mentioned over here, we have the hierarchy of the boss is 0. Okay, now let's see. So as we know, like we always try to go through the SQL solution based on the hierarchy, like the order of execution, right? So here what we are saying is we are saying take the employee as table 1 and the CTE as table 2. So as of now in the CTE, what we have only one record. And what we are saying that then take the manager ID of the employee, that is in the employee table. What do we have in the employee table? We have all these record, right? So what we are saying over here, take the manager ID, that is this ID, and map it with the manager employee ID of the CTE. So as of now in the CTE, we have only one record, right? So it will keep on concatenating the data and it will keep on mapping the data, right? So this where condition I will execute to show you how the solution would look like. But before that, let's see after running this for each and every record how it look like. Then we will break down employee by employee and see the solution. So let me run this. Okay, so now if you see, like the below part is nothing but the code for getting the salary difference, but that is list priority as of now. Okay, so the solution Okay, the solution of this look like this. So here we have the employee ID 1 and we have the hierarchy 1. Same way for each and other employee, and this exactly matches with the output which we need, right? Okay, now so here we ran for each and every employee ID, right? So here in the employee table we have all the 8 employee and we ran for everyone. Now to like understand how this code is working, we can go one by one. Okay, so we can run for only one, that is employee ID 1. Okay, so what we are saying is join this and then filter out only for the employee ID 1, right? And run this. So if you see, we are getting only one record. Why one record? Let me demonstrate this. So here we are saying that table 1 manager ID. So for the employee 1 manager ID is null, and table 2 employee ID. Table 2 employee ID. We do not have any record where we have the manager, the employee as null, employee ID as null. So this query will not give anything, and from here we will get this record. So here we have one record, here we have 0 record. So one record get concatenated with 0 record and we get only one record, right? Now let's do this for the employee ID 2 as well, right? So let's run this. Okay, let's see what we are getting. So now this time in the CTE we have only one record, right? From the first iteration. So in the first iteration we got one record, and this is the second iteration basically. So in the second iteration in the CTE we had only one record, and from the recursive CTE, let's see what we are getting, right? So as I mentioned, this get only executed once. So in the second iteration this didn't get execute, right? Now we are executing only this thing. So let's see how exactly it is doing the job. So here what we are saying that take the manager ID of employee, take the manager ID from the table 1. So table 1 is this. So manager ID over here is 1, and join it with the employee ID of the table 2. So table 2 we have only one record. So this 1 get joined with 1, right? And we get hierarchy level as 1. Why 1? So because hierarchy label we joined with this, right? So there we had the hierarchy level as 0, right? And then we did +1. So we got 0 + 1, we got 1 over here. I hope you understood this piece. Now let's do for employee 3 and run again. So now in the CT we have these record, right? These two record. So in the third iteration in the CT we have 2 record, right? These 2 record, and the same way basically this manager will get joined with the employee of these 2 record, and this will get matched with this, and we will get 0 + 1 is 1. Now let's do for 4. Okay, so for 4 also we got the result. So now in the CT we have 3 record, and this 4 is getting joined, right? So here we are saying manager, so 2, it will try to scan over here in this 3 record, it will find over here, and it will do 1 + 1, like 1 from here, and we are doing +1 in the recursive query, so that will give 2. And this is what I was explaining over here also. So for 4 we got the result for 2, that is 1, and then we are doing the +1 to get the result for 4, right? Now same way for 5 we should get the same answer, that is 2. And for 6, 7, 8, I think we had total 8 employees. So let's run for everyone. Okay, right, we have everything. Now let's dry run for this one, Helen. So as we know, till employee ID 7 we have these record in the CT, and for the 8 employee ID 8 we have the manager ID 5. So 5 will be joining with this, and here we have 2. So 2 + 1 we will be getting 3. So that's why we are getting over here 3. So I hope you understood this. So this was only for the demonstration. Now since we have the hierarchy level, in order to find the salary difference, this is quite simple. So we can just take the difference between the salary and the salary of the Alice. So to solve that problem, we can have multiple ways. So let me show you this way in which I have solved. So you can solve this using the subquery as well, right? So what we are saying is, we are saying that take the manager or the boss salary, right? So this query will give 1,50,000, and from there, like in the CT we have all the employees, and then we are joining that with the manager salary, that is this record on the hierarchy level not equal to 0. So hierarchy level not equal to 0, that is the first record will not come in the output, and we are taking the salary difference, that is the salary of the employee and the boss salary, which we got from this query, basically this CT, right? And then we are doing the ordering of the record. So let's run this, and we got our expected output. So yes, if you like this content, please do like, subscribe, share the channel. And so in this series, basically we will be covering all the problem from this website, right? And I will put the link in the description section, so you can see, like, we have a lot of problem. You can try to solve all these premium problem by yourself. So let's meet in the next problem. Until then, bye.